We've got some great comments, guys. So listen, Armando Wall says, I think he speaks as a character he plays, meaning he plays a role specifically for reactions. He thrives off of drama, and that's his bread and butter, spreading chaos over actual meaningful facts. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Marlo, you're in TV, you do all of this. So tell us what you think. Do you think this is a part of him getting the character out, or do you think he really feels this way?
I think that he's actually said it before in interviews with more kind of serious minded people that aren't out for clickbait. He is an attorney by trade. And so he said that he made a pivot. He made a conscious pivot toward being a little bit more conversational to feed people the information that they needed, because them getting the information in a normal way was not working right now. I don't know how true that is. I have searched him when I saw that that the lawyer part is legitimate. But I don't know enough about his online persona to know if there's been a wave, right? What I do know is he's not lying. He's not lying. People who, one, using your child as a pawn is my pet peeve. Don't do that. That is not cool. I know people personally who've done that, right? And there's an accountability thing. There's hurt feelings there. And once people understand what's behind that behavior, everybody that I know that has exhibited in the past, they've corrected that. So he's not saying something that is not true. I don't know if it's prevalent in one community more than another, but his experiences as a black man, right? His experiences in black communities. So that's what he's speaking on. I think that people don't want information if you just sit down and speak rationally, right? That's why reality shows are popular. Charleston White is his own reality show. He goes out, he says provocative things, people get mad, he's been slapped, he's been attacked, he's called police. Like, it's a constant circus. So I think you do have to take what he says with a grain of salt. But he does, say things that need to be said. He does provide topics that we could analyze as a community if we really want to move in a better direction as a whole, right? If we want to bring all the fringe people who, the ratchet behavior or whatever the case may be, if we want to bring everybody in and really have community, he says great things. But yeah, he's definitely the character Charleston White. I don't think we ever get to see the real Charleston White.
I think we see that a lot every day in everything we look at. Everybody wants ratings. Everybody wants the clicks. Everybody wants the likes and shares. By the way, we love your likes and shares. Go on and do that right now. Go on and get it on out there for us. And I have to, we actually see that there are several men who are watching. Well, I don't know if they're necessarily men. So Black Marvel actually says, I've seen a lot of Black women using their kids as a bargaining chip or leverage on a man that they don't even like anymore just to make him hurt. I wish more dudes would take these women to court for custody. Now, this falls right back into the video. So, Erica, I would want to hear your thoughts on this.
To be quite honest, let's just take it back to what the root of the problem is when you have two immature people, you're going to have an immature situation. And that's just what it is. Just because you're old enough to have intercourse and have and experience intimacy doesn't mean that you are mature enough to handle the outcome of that intimacy. Because the word intimacy means really to be into me. So people are really just having intercourse and don't even realize that they can't even get into the person that they're with, and vice versa. It's because they have no connection to self. Y'all know how I go back to accountability and being responsible for self. So we're going to start with that. And then couple that back around. So now you have this immaturity. And then you have two people that realize, you know what? You have two different sets of values. Both people may have been raised in single homes. One raised by the grandmother, one raised by their mother. And now, you got two different sets of values going on, or two different sets of cultural values. And now nobody's had this conversation about the what if. Now that the child is here, the child is caught in the middle. Now you got religious issues, you got the food issues, you got dietary issues. Nobody knows what hereditary issues you have. Somebody could have Tay-Sachs, somebody could have sickle cell. Nobody's had these conversations, especially when you're at a young age. So I think it's really important that we actually stop and start having conversations about the maturity level. Now, I don't know how old he was when he made that decision, but for him to be carrying it over into the age that he's in, you don't know what he saw. Speaking as the product of a single parent household, my parents were married 18 years. And when my father decided he didn't want to be married anymore and he moved overseas, my mother had considered going back to her maiden name. And she did not, because she didn't want my brother and I to be lost in a system where she has her maiden name and we have my father's name, and now she has to explain all of this. So she kept her married name so that she could identify with her children. My father remarried and had other children. My mother never remarried. So to this day, at my tender age of 50, we still have the same last name. And, so I don't think it's all about, mothers will give the children their last name. A lot of women are forced into that, sir, because you know what? You're not able to provide a stable household. You're not able to provide financially.